Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Tom Jung. I am the Director of Recruiting here at Epic National Realty, and I have the pleasure of sitting down with our founder, Jason Couch. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, Tom. Let's get to business.
All right. I just want to get a feel for you and your background, why you got into real estate.
Well, real estate's fascinating. So I've always been in sales. I've sold almost every type of product, from home improvements to timeshares and everything, and I love the art of sales because I believe it's an art form. But what I realized is you could be the best popsicle salesman in the world and you're not going to break 50 grand a year. So sales is such an amazing technology in that all you have to do is raise your product type, and what better product is there than $300,000 to $700,000 real estate? I mean, that's what we're doing. We're communicating to the public and we're selling a product on behalf of our buyers or sellers. And you just raise the product type. And that's why at Epic we study sales like no other company studies it.
That makes sense. Now why did you start Epic National Realty?
So I noticed all of these inefficiencies in real estate. So when I first got into real estate, I was sitting in an open house and I was like, this is a colossal waste of my time. Have you ever been there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're just looking at the clock, smelling the cookies. You can delegate your time, because we're obsessed with time at Epic. You could hire and train an expert at open houses, pay them really well, and filter all of the leads and clients up without wasting a minute of your time.
Makes sense.
So in real estate and other sales activities, there's high dollar activities and low dollar activities. Which one do you think would be better for you, sitting in front of ready-made sellers or in an open house?
Ready-made sellers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The problem with most agents today is they don't realize that they run their own business. It's literally a business within a business. And certain activities that they do is $2,000 an hour, and certain activities is $20 an hour.
So this leads me into my next question, which I think this is probably part of the answer, but I've been studying agent performance for a while, and most agents only close 8 to 20 houses a year. Why do you think that's so low?
It's not their fault. There is thousands of brilliant agents out there. But if one transaction took 2 hours of your time or it took 40 hours of your time, that's really the problem. There's a vicious cycle going on right now, and this will resonate with you in some cases, but you'll spend all of your time trying to find a client. So they'll spend a month trying to find a client. They'll go on all the .com leads, working it and calling them. Then they finally yes, I got a client. And they're going to take the next month showing the client, and then they'll finally get the client under contract, and then they'll wait 30 more days to get their check. Well, guess what? 90 days have passed. So the commission that they just earned, they're paying all their bills from the previous 3 months. They have no surplus to spend on marketing, and they do it all over again. So you'll notice agents just go like this: 2 transactions, no transactions, 2 transactions, no transactions. But if they were super smart at doing this, they would subdivide every element of time in the transaction, and you'll notice that 90% of this activity is average dollar work.
Right.
Like, how hard would it be to find a really customer service oriented person to run an open house? And we could pay them $100 an hour and still get ROI.
Right.
Or how about a showing agent? Would it be okay to spend $200 per showing if the average showing was 8 showings to a commission check? See, people don't think about this. But right now, within 25 miles of where we're sitting, there's 60,000 real estate transactions. And let me break it down even further. If we added up the average commissions paid to realtors in this city, it's $650 million a year is paid to realtors across the Metroplex. So that's $650 million going from this spot to that spot. Agents are getting 8 to 20 of those just because they don't know how to manage time correctly. So what I want to do, and what we have been doing, is I take brilliant agents that are brilliant at sales, and I create a whole tour around them. Like, who's your favorite rock star?
Okay, not really a rock star, but I like Eric Church.
Eric Church?
Yeah.
Man, that's my wife's favorite singer.
Oh,
We were 4th row, actually, at Eric Church.
Oh, nice.
Incredible. So, do you think Eric Church sells his own t-shirts?
Definitely not.
Does he set up his own stage?
No.
Does he book his gigs?
Nope.
Does he tune the instruments?
Nope.
Does he sell the tickets?
Nope.
Does he show up and sing?
Yep.
That's what Epic agents need to do. All the revenue in real estate is made in 20 minutes.
So Epic breaks down all of the different aspects of a real estate transaction and then you get the top talent and say, hey, this is what pays the most. We want you to go spend all of your time doing that.
That's it. There's Eric Churches, there's roadies, there's t-shirt salespeople, right? It's all a tour.
And so there's other people in Epic that all make money as well.
Some of the listing managers that just manage a listing, they literally don't sell at all, make more than the average agent who sells.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And showing agents who just get excited about drapes in bathrooms. Sometimes I'm not the guy who gets excited about drapes in bathrooms. So some people have really strong personalities for that. I'm more like the lion you let out of the cage when they're ready to make the offer. So clients appreciate having 5 different people working on this transaction versus one guy scrambling around town trying to do it all, which is distracting. Eric Church couldn't sing as well if he was selling t-shirts before he went up on stage.
Right, he wouldn't be making as much music.
No, because you all know there's these moments in time when a client's right on the edge of choosing you to be their agent. Do you think you would do better if you haven't been distracted all day fighting with escrow checks, driving them to title, showing a bunch of people, figuring out if your deal's closing on time? Or do you think you'd be better if you just showed up fresh and you executed in that 20 minutes? Because it's literally 20 minutes. And that's the technology we teach. We have a whole platform called Selling to Strangers.
Okay.
So a lot of agents, they want referrals.
And this is the sales training?
Yes.
Okay.
The sales training at Epic, you will get training like you've never seen before. The actual psychology of what consumers are going through from the first approach all the way to the end, what they're feeling. You'll gain empathy on the stresses that they're doing, because we all lose connection.
Sure.
And you've done hundreds of transactions. They've done it once every 7 years.
Right, and you actually train why somebody's saying what they're saying and how to get them back on the track that they need to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
We try to get all of the smoke away and talk to the person.
Yeah.
Because Tom, did you know when you're talking to somebody, you're not talking to them, you're talking to everything that's ever happened to them.
Right. It's very emotional.
It's a very emotional thing. You could be associated with bad experiences or good experiences. So really, it's more of a therapeutic approach to find out, is this a good fit? Which we teach how to do. Now, I want to comment on why everybody seems to love referrals.
Okay.
And referrals are really, really good because that's just a compliment to your good work. The one problem that nobody talks about for referrals is that you cannot control the product type or client that gets referred to you. So we all know these stories. If you got a friend's friend who wants to go buy a house and they want to take you on a 40-home tour at a $150,000 price point, even though there was no marketing cost for that, you lost money on that transaction because it took up so much of your time for so little revenue.
Right.
So referrals are great, but we love selling to strangers because after 15 minutes of dialogue, you're no longer a stranger anymore. Everybody's scared of the first 15 minutes. So we actually teach you how to not even sell, but interview clients to get to that 16th minute. And imagine just going through the grocery store or ever, just imagine that situation where everybody who would buy real estate has a red light blinking on top. Would that make life easier?
Make it a lot easier.
That's right. Well, that's what people try to do with referrals is they try to have their friends sell their friends to sell their friends.
Sure.
You can't control your time that way.
Right. Nor can you control the scale.
That's
of what
right.
you do.
That's right.
Yeah.
So ever since the beginning, we just focus on selling to strangers, helping as many people as we can, and extracting that 1% from the 99% who actually will be buying real estate in the next few months, put really good agents in front of them, and bring more value than any other company can.
Love it. Now let me ask you this. If somebody is joining Epic, what should they expect when they first join?
Well, first, our onboarding team is incredible because it's very stressful to switch brokerages,
Sure.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You may have listings in play, you may not know our systems. So we take you step by step, and it takes about 6 days or so to get really acclimated with the Epic way. But that's when the fun really starts. Is
Okay.
after that, you start to get into our Sell to Strangers program for either you or your entire team. Now, we all know the value of leads, but imagine having a simulator that you can actually practice inside a simulator for your team where they're role-playing against a computer and not practicing on $8,000 commission checks. Because correct me if I'm wrong, most agents right now, the team lead gives them leads, you're not looking or really monitoring them, and they're literally practicing their sales skills on $8,000 of your money.
Very expensive way to do it.
Very expensive. But it's also very difficult to create that platform where they're actually thinking quick on their feet.
Right.
Because it's one thing to do conference calls and seminars, but do you know any other sport where you can get better by not practicing?
No.
Is there any other sport that practices with real matches?
I don't think so.
So why do we do it in real estate?
Preseason, yeah.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's amazing. So to get good at sales, you have to run practice drills, right? And there's only two ways to do it, to role play in real time or to do some type of simulation.
And so the technology that you have does this simulation.
Correct. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a buyer's agent on your team that's struggling with the I want to think about it objection.
Okay.
Well, you can send them out to a bunch of leads and waste a bunch of money until they get good.
Right.
Or they can come into our simulator and they'll have different scenarios of I want to think about it derivatives where they get to say back what they would have said and be graded and improved. So it's almost like practice for real sports. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I believe real estate is a performance-based sport, is it not?
It is.
And that's the way we do it. So we don't hire a bunch of agents. We want a few select, really talented agents in their team, and then we do a bunch of really innovative marketing and just pump clients into their group.
Jason, thanks for taking the time to sit down with us today.
Absolutely.
And if you're still on the fence about any of this, I totally get it. I was there too, but if you're watching this video, it's because something was missing in your business. There's something missing, and that's why you're here today. And so I was in the same spot. I sat down with Jason. I was like, this looks too good to be true. But you know what? I'm gonna take a leap of faith. If it is true, it's gonna be a great fit, and here I am years later. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click the link below and set up that call.